Easy Riders Raging Bulls. You have an opinion about that, don't you?
Oh, about the book,
Yeah.
Easy Riders Raging Bull? Well, you know, what is my
You said
opinion?
it emphasized the downside of that period.
Well, I was afraid that's what I said. You know, it's funny. I think that for me, as a reader and someone who lived through it, it did seem that the writer took a kind of a gossipy, kind of dark side view of things, and especially I was disturbed about the way Hal Ashby was portrayed, because Hal Ashby was a very complicated guy. And he was a tremendously positive force, both as a filmmaker and also as an encourager of younger filmmakers. And he was a splendid person, and I thought there was this inappropriately kind of tragic view of Hal Ashby that really missed the point. And I felt that sort of set a certain tone for the piece. But you know, that's just my very, very, very personal opinion. I'm sure the book's wonderful.
It's interesting. That period, did it feel magical at the time?
Well, the period that book takes place, which I guess is the 70s, approaching the 80s, for me in my life it was a very magical time because I had fallen into this opportunity of making films. And I was in California for the first time, and it was just, for me, extremely magical. And these great films were happening. I was making little, incredibly inexpensive, very, very sort of exploitation films for Roger Corman, and that was thrilling. And we were seeing Apocalypse Now and these other great films of the time. And at the moment, one didn't realize that this was kind of a golden age. It was just what was happening. It seemed to be the way things were going to be from now on in American film. That maybe American film had sort of turned this corner and had broken out of the sort of studio model, and a far more independent spirit was going to characterize American films from now on. And I guess it's true, the independent spirit has remained, but not inside the studio system as was at that moment.
Where is it now?
I think the independent spirit in American films is now in the independent, low-budget movement. There's some stunning exceptions to that, of course. Films like the kind of films that George Clooney is making. Not Ocean's 12, but rather Syriana, Good Morning, Good Night. I think there's terrific things going on, but it's not, the independent spirit doesn't own the movie business. It hasn't claimed the film industry the way things were for that moment in time. Now the corporatization of the movie business has really taken a very firm grip, and the more independent spirit films are happening outside the studios.